Holocron History, Star Wars Canon versus Legends, where we take a deep dive into the Star Wars universe such as characters, creatures, stories, and so much more. Hosted by Ben of Temeria and Kadojo.
Welcome back, Adepts Acolytes, to another episode of Holocron History, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends. I'm one of your hosts, Brandon, or also known as Ben of Temeria, and always with me is my good friend, Kadojo.
Hello there.
And today, we are bringing you more Sith cults, and these two specifically, you probably haven't heard of because they were in a expansion book and a source book for the original 1987 version of the Star Wars The Role-Playing Game, which was their version of like D&D, but in the Star Wars universe. So, we're going over two different cults in the said expansion. So, you might not have heard these before. So, the first one we're diving into is the Prophets of the Dark Side, or also called the Secret Order of the Emperor, which was an ancient dark side cult that arose on the planet of Droman Kos. Interesting. In the Droman system of the Outer Rim, a world that once served as the capital of the reconstituted. Thank you. Reconstituted Sith Empire. They were founded by the renegade Dark Lord of the Sith, Darth Millennial, and hence was considered to be a splinter faction of the Order of the Sith Lords.
Okay, let's see where this guy... Now, so if it's from Drummond Cast, I wonder if this book was printed during the SWTOR.
Oh, no, dude, this was during the 80s.
Oh, 80s, really?
This was all in the 80s. This is
so they pulled stuff out.
Oh, like SWTOR pulled shit out from Legends.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. No, this was made in the 80s. Because there was the original role-playing game was only out for a few years, like when it originally came out. It wasn't printed all that long. It was by West End Games, which I think they only had. I think it was only out for a couple years. But yeah, this was the 80s, so this is well before anything SWTOR. Because SWTOR didn't come out until the 2010s. So, the prophets were trained in the use of the dark side of the Force and its use of the power to delve into the possible future outcomes of any event. During the time of the Galactic Empire, that they were led by Kadan, the Supreme Prophet, and the prophets were all black-bearded individuals who wore gleaming black robes and attained a great deal of power within the remnants of the Empire after the death of Palpatine. Along with many predictions, the prophets supposedly foresaw the precise time and place of the destruction of the Death Stars by the Rebel Alliance. In order to retain their power, the prophets used any means necessary to ensure the predicted outcome.
So, in order to be a prophet, you just have a big black beard.
And somehow have Force visions to see through the future.
But I love that it's all black bearded individuals, so that's very specific.
Right.
Oh no, he's got a blonde beard, he's not a prophet.
Right, yeah.
It has to be black. It has to be a black beard.
Yeah, it's weird. So, when the group became part of the Secret Order of the Empire, the term became interchangeable with the title Emperor's Mage, used for the true prophet of the dark side after they were recruited by Palpatine to serve him. The true prophets should not be confused with their imitators, the false prophets, who collectively comprised the Church of the Dark Side.
Boy, there are a lot of Sith cults just saying prophets of the dark side or something dark side.
Something dark side?
Okay, Seth MacFarlane, calm down.
So,
although that was a good parody.
That was a fun parody, not gonna lie. So, now getting into their actual history. So, with their early history, Darth Millennial, a Sith apostate who rejected Darth Bane's role to establish the Dark Force, faith on Droman Kos. The prophets of the dark side resided in the highest tower on the Dark Force Temple, an ancient Sith temple in a quagmire on Droman Kos that had been a battleground during the Light and Darkness War. The tower was a nexus for the dark side of the Force. In 100 BBY, a group of prophets settled the nearby move of Kalikar 6, where they would later resurrect Darth Maul briefly in 0 BBY.
Wow, this is a lot to take in
Yeah,
here.
yeah. By the way, people. Well, if Darth Maul was in here, then it'll be early 2000s,
Yeah, I was gonna say
not 80, 90, 80s.
it must have been an expansion or something, or someone
Yeah.
took over the
Actually, let me
property.
verify that real quick. Da, da, da.
Now,
This was printed in 2002. Because it was printed in 2002.
haha, called it.
That's only because frickin' Maul's in here. And that
Yeah,
was 99. Okay, I
yeah.
was wrong. It's not the 80s, but it was for the same 80s, Star
Hmm.
Wars role playing game, which was
Yeah.
made in the 80s. Okay, I was
And
completely wrong there. Sorry,
and
everyone.
and to all the other people, Darth Bane's rule of two was just him and his apprentice. He thought
Hmm.
he killed a majority of the Sith enough so that way no other Sith would pretty much bother him.
Yep.
Because there were Sith off planet when that force bomb, I guess, went off.
Yeah, because he did he essentially self destruct the Force to kill all the Sith.
Yeah. And a majority of them were on there, but there were probably a handful off world when that
Hmm.
happened. So,
All right. So many years later, Palpatine discovered the planet and converted the prophets to his cause, keeping the location of Drummond Cost a secret. The Drummond system was one of 36 systems deleted from the Jedi archives, as Yoda discovered after the revelation that Kamino had been deleted. Yoda was believed to be visited the Drummond system, but any records that had made existed of his visit were lost as a result of the Great Jedi Purge.
wait, I'm sorry, 36 systems?
Yeah, apparently.
Wow, this is new information. I mean,
Granted, this is
how
all legends, by
what's
the
this?
way. This is all legends material.
I know, but this makes me question the Jedi security system because
No
you got
kidding,
Kamino
right?
being deleted, Drellin Cost being deleted, and apparently like 30.
36 other systems.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kind of an issue. So, during the Clone Wars, Separatist forces led by Dark Acolyte Asajj Ventress fought the 327th Star Corps during the Battle of Drum and Kos. To her forces' advantage, Ventress used information provided by the prophets of the dark side prior to the Jedi Purge. Palpatine appointed the Dark Jedi Kadan as Supreme Prophet of the dark side. On Imperial Center, Kadan became one of the Emperor's most trusted advisors. Kadan's apprentice, Jegar, became Kadan's right-hand man as High Prophet of the dark side.
Supreme Prophet, High Prophet, Low
Mm-hmm.
Prophet.
Right, and this is also interesting that Dark Acolyte Asajj Ventress, which I have a feeling this is probably the because Asajj Ventress was created specifically for the original Clone Wars animation TV show, not animation,
Yes.
animated. So it was actual
2003
was that
Clone
2003?
Wars. I think so. 2003 Clone Wars animation.
I thought it was earlier than 2003. I could be wrong. But anyway, I mean, this has also had expansion, so they added more info later. So, when Supreme Prophet Kadan predicted balance would be restored to the Force at Endor, Palpatine laughed at him and became enraged. Palpatine then dispatched his Inquisitors to Drum and Kos to re-educate Kadan's priesthood, forcing the prophets to take flight. Most of the true prophets fled to Supreme Prophet Kadan's hidden temple stronghold on, Basthirda, abandoning Imperial Center and Drum and Kos.
Yeah. Now, Imperial Center is Coruscant. For some reason in Legends, they just call it Imperial Center.
Yeah,
which
and
is weird.
Basthirda is in part of the close to Korriban and Drum and Kos. Okay.
Yeah, Clone Wars was 2003 to 2005, and there were 3 seasons.
There was 3?
3.
I mean, the
I
episodes
only
were
remember
super
2.
short. The episodes were real short. They were like
Like
what,
12 to
15?
15 minutes. 12 to
Yeah, they were
15
in
minutes.
between episodes on Cartoon Network at the time, like
Yeah.
in the weird commercial break things they would do.
Yeah.
All right. So now getting into the late Galactic Civil War and the Church of the Dark Side. So a few mages pursued different paths after the Battle of Endor. Uh, uh, Cornell, by now the Emperor's Hand Black Hole, became a servant, and the resurrected Emperor established the Church of the Dark Side on Imperial Center and mutated Gork and Pick into the Brothers of the Sith. These brothers became Dark Jedi apprentices to Jarek. When the population Tatooine rebelled after the destruction of the second Death Star, Saris fled Tatooine and became one of the Dark Jedi apprentices to Jarek, on whose behalf she became enraged at the mineral baron on Panthera, whose son Yoon she thought was in the ways of the Church of the Dark Side, seduced and murdered his own father, so Saris could give the baron's holdings and Yoon himself to Jarek. Marek Satel joined the 181st Imperial Fighter Wing and later served the Imperial Remnant in the Outer Rim under Grand Admiral Galad Palion, and Mary served the Church of the Dark Side advisor to Grand Admiral Pisatri Sin and died with him when the flagship was destroyed by Admiral Gyao Akbar at Kashyyyk.
There's a lot to unpack here. First off,
Holy
most
crap.
of those Dark Jedi were from, I want to say, the second Dark Force.
Yeah, these
No,
are from the
first.
these are from the actual games, I think, right?
Yeah. Well, the
Or most
those
of
Dark
them.
Jedi are.
Yeah.
They're from, I want to
Dark
say, the
Forces?
first Dark. Yeah, first Dark Force. Maybe the second. I can't remember.
Well,
But
they're from the Dark Force
Gilad
series.
Paleon was Thrawn's right-hand man,
Mm,
who would later go on to lead the Remnant, Imperial Remnant, into a peace with the New Republic.
gotcha. Well, he's not doing that this time around. We'll get to that in the news.
Mid-break, mid-break.
Mid-break, people, mid-break. So, all right. So then, during the year after the Battle of Endor, Cornell's institution of the Church of the Dark Side was officially sanctioned by the acting Emperor State Passage or Pesta. Passage?
Yeah, Passage.
Passage, and
Stage.
secretly patronized by Emperor Palpatine after his rebirth. The church was instituted by Imperial Intelligence, of which the Cornell, a former true prophet turned Emperor's Hand, was a high-ranking agent. Okay. Unlike the Secret Order, the church was a high-visibility propaganda tool. The church included the only former true prophets, Cornell, Saris, and Merrily, but also a group of false prophets of the dark side, in truth simply Imperial intelligence agents that helped the Central Committee of the Grand Moffs control one of the larger Imperial remnants. The false prophets included impersonators of Kadan, Jedar, and Gornash. They operated from Sicardi Station in the Null Zone and traveled in a ship called Sicardi Voyager.
Null Zone. Okay, this is the first time hearing of this. Hang on. Null Zones.
It's part of the
This website.
expansion region?
Region devoid of star systems on a galactic map. Star. So, yeah, apparently it's a piece of space that has no stars.
Okay. Oh god, that's interesting.
And
That's real interesting. They're also concerning. You're not wrong. So these beings were con artists rather than true Force sensitives, and used manipulation to make their prophecies come true. The pseudo Jagar handwrote Secrets of the Dark Side, in which he recorded the supposed prophecies of the pseudo Kadan.
Religious con artists!
Hooray! We want to have a cult without some. So the false prophets foretold that the next emperor would wear the indestructible glove of the Darth Vader. After the glove was found in the wreckage of the second Death Star and had come into space near Dak through a space anomaly, the glove was worn by the three-eyed mutant Trioculus. Trioculus? Trioculus. Oh, I see. Triceratops and Cyclops put together. Trioculus.
Yeah.
All right. An Imperial slave master on Kessel, whom Central Committee of the Grand Moffs claimed to be the son of Palpatine and made Emperor. Wow.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
By the way, I wonder if this is the same glove he used to stop Han's blaster shots.
Could be. Who knows?
In Empire Strikes Back, he just just
Just
stops
put
the
his hands
blasters.
up and
Boom,
just
boom, boom.
right.
Mine.
Oh, I remember. It's great. It's a great scene. So the pseudo Kadan failed to take over the imperial center of the Yazan Azard, who had taken power from the state's Persage. Amongst those who failed to answer pseudo Kadan's summons to imperial center were Grand Admiral Afshin Makati, who believed the pseudo Kadan to be the true Kadan, amongst whom Makati had held a grudge. The pseudo Kadan fled back to the Sicardi station. Grand Admiral Makati cajoled. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Is that says Azrakel?
Azrakel, yeah.
Okay. Who believed that the pseudo Kadan to be the true Kadan, into revealing much data on the Sicardi station and the lost cities of the Jedi on Yavin 4. McCarthy trapped the pseudo Kadan on Sicardi station, which he destroyed with his fleet.
Now, I like to point out this entire previous section we just talked about is a perfect example why the Empire would never win against the New Republic, because they can never agree on anything if it wasn't run by Emperor Palpatine.
Pretty much.
Emperor Palpatine set up the Empire to fail if he died.
Yeah. And it did. Clearly. Multiple occasions.
If I die, my Empire dies.
Yep. So, now going to the true Jagar had foreseen the con artistry of the false prophets, but the true Kadan forbade him from acting against them, himself having foreseen the downfall of the false prophets. The true prophets viewed Palpatine as their enemy for having rejected Kadan's prophecies and deprize Cornell as a traitor and becoming the Emperor's hand, and not coming with him to Bastirda, ignoring the actions of the Central Committee of Moffs. The true prophets contacted Jarek, now a great inquisitor in judgment, for the Penastar alignment.
Another faction within the Empire.
Yep. Great. More factions to deal with. And these inquisitors were essentially actual inquisitors like you would have in medieval times, not like inquisitors we have in canon. Clearly,
nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Right.
Nobody expects the Sith Inquisition.
It happened. All right, and so Jarek agreed to search for the lost valley of the Jedi on behalf of the prophets, while at the same time pretended to search for the valley on behalf of the alignment. Shortly thereafter, Emperor's Ham Black Hole, formerly known as Emperor's Mage himself and father of Saris, contacted Jarek and informed him of the existence of the clone Emperor on Bliss, and asked him to search for the Lost Valley Emperor's behalf. Jarek agreed, not revealing to Black Hole that he was already searching for the valley on behalf of the alignment and the true prophets.
Can you imagine going on a quest or something to look for something just on your own, and all of a sudden get a phone call? Yeah? Oh, he's back. And he wants me to search for this. Oh, yeah, I'm sure I can clear my schedule to go look for that. I'm it might be easier to find than you might think.
Then you hang up the phone. I was like, well, no shit. I'm already looking for it, dipshits.
Take it.
All right, so in truth, Jarek was loyal only to himself and hoped to use the valley's power to subdue all three of his sponsors and rule as emperor himself. Whoa, shocker, plot twist. Drawing resources from these three sponsors, Jarek eventually found the valley on Rusan. However, Jarek was killed by Kyle Katarn, who kept the location of the valley secret, frustrating the efforts of the true prophets, who remained hidden and bidden their time, waiting for a portent that would signify the time of their return. Yeah, so Kyle Katarn's in the picture. Which we know him.
I think
he's in Dark Forces. This is, I think, Dark Forces 2.
Yeah. Well, yeah. This is Dark Force 2 because Dark Force 1 dealt with Death Star plans, I think, Dark Troopers.
Dark Troopers was Death Star. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is, I think, Dark Forces 1 or 2. I think this is 2. I'm pretty
Two,
sure.
yeah, this is definitely two because one, you had to deal with the Arc Hammer, which was a spaceship that specifically built the mechanical Dark Troopers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And then 6 years after the Battle of Endor, after studying ancient dark side inscriptions, Kyle Katarn learned of Drum and Koss and traveled there, but was corrupted to the dark side. Mara Jade followed Kyle and found him in the Dark Force Temple, where she redeemed him. Kyle, Mara, and Luke Skywalker then pieced together Drum and Koss's history. The Jedi and the New Republic intelligence worked to ensure the planet's location remained a secret. Hey, Mara Jade's now in the picture. A character that will never get in canon.
Probably not. No.
No, it's. I'm pretty sure it's pure on fact that we won't now.
Yeah.
Also, George Lucas never liked that character.
I don't know if he never liked that character or he just hates people think that he created that character.
Probably both.
Because it was Timothy Zahn who actually created that character. The guy who made Thrawn also made Mara Jade.
Right. So, I don't think we'll ever get Mara Jade, especially now that Luke is, no longer alive in canon.
Yeah. Well, plus there's no indication. Excuse me. That he even took a wife or had a romantic interest while he's trying to rebuild the Jedi Order.
True. And if we go... go on.
And in canon, it looked like he had much more of a struggle trying to rebuild the Order than he did in Legends.
Oh, absolutely. Well, he did by himself. He didn't have any, resources from other people. He mainly did it himself.
I mean, New Republic says, here's
Ahsoka.
a couple of droids to build some buildings, and that's it. You're on your own.
Even if, who knows if we even got those from the New Republic?
Yeah, they did. He did.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Pretty sure. Well, right. I mean, he did kill the Emperor and Darth Vader, so...
True, but the New Republic is just, hey, here's the Rebel Alliance with some old Imperial Remnant people. Yes, let's totally give the guy who, destroyed their entire empire and give him resources. Sure.
And plus, he blew up the first Death Star.
And, well, yeah. And he was hero the second, so, well, anyway. So the prophets were destroyed when the Dark Lady Lumina and her apprentice, Carnor Jax, enlisted the aid of the Dark Warrior, Azrael, who arrived in the headquarters of the prophets in vengeful fury, slaying a number of them, including Kadan himself before he fell. Lumina and Jax arrived moments later and slew the last prophets.
So this is why I kind of agree with Bane's rule of two, because the second you get a third Sith involved, it goes to hell.
Yes, it goes sideways. It goes to hell. People die.
You get
no ifs,
apprentices
ands, or buts.
getting their own apprentices, which gets their own apprentices. Which, I mean, it's just a house of dominoes ready to fall.
Pretty much. I mean, have you played the dark or Sith warrior side of SWTOR? I mean, that's exactly what happens. So many people die.
Or the Sith Inquisitor.
Or Sith Inquisitor.
Sorcerer.
Yeah.
Sorcerer, yeah.
Well, it's Inquisitor. You're right.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Inquisitor. Sorcerer is one of the subclasses.
Okay.
But yeah, it's so many people die in those storylines on SWTOR because, I mean, in the Sith Warrior, you kill 3 apprentices literally on Korriban or when you start your playthrough.
Mm-hmm.
And you hide them. Hide the bodies. You can kill people as long as no one finds out. That's literally a rule in Korriban, pretty much. All right. With that though, let's take a quick mid break. Thank our listeners, and we'll be right back.
Amazon Health AI presents Painful Thoughts.
Why did I search the internet for answers to my cold sore problem? Now I'm stuck down a rabbit hole filled with images of alarmingly graphic sores in various stages of ooze. I can clear my search history, but I can never unsee that.
Don't go down the rabbit hole. Amazon Health AI gets you the right care, fast. Healthcare just got less painful.
All right, welcome to the Middle Show. We're talking about everything about podcasts. There's nothing to do with the lore of Star Wars. Here, I want to thank all of our amazing patrons. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. And if you too want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/holocronhistories, where you can get ad-free episodes or even join us once a month on the show itself. You can also leave us ratings and reviews on Apple and Spotify. Leave 5-star review on Apple with some words or a nice Spotify comment. Read it out loud next time on the show, which we do have one from Nino, saying, "Hey guys, loving how dynamic the back and forth between you guys are. A retroactive welcome, Kodojo, LOL." This is back on our episode Hyperspace, which is 118.
I think that was my first one.
Was it? Oh, okay. We're in 190s now, so. Also, just finished KOTOR for the first time and read the book of the Sith thanks to you guys. My love for Star Wars was an all-time low, but because of the cast, I felt it rekindled. Already started Jedi Academy. Keep on rocking. Cheers from Brazil.
Hey.
Well, thank you for writing that, and I'm glad that your love for Star Wars has been rekindled, because there's so much good stuff in Star Wars.
We know the sequel era took a hit on everyone.
It did, sadly. So yeah, thank you for that. And then you can also find us on a few different Discord servers: the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, and also my Discord server, the Ben and Friends Podcasting Discord, where you can find this show and all the other shows that I host, which are the Dragon Ball Lorecast, the Final Fantasy Lorecast, the Gundam Lorecast, the Wizard World Lorecast, and the Witcher Lorecast. So you can go check all those out. And then as far as news, we got a lot, because
Get out of the way, people.
D23 just happened this past weekend, and oh my god! So we got.
If we went into detail, this would be an episode on its own.
It would be. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I don't know why we didn't think about doing that. Well, it was this past weekend, so that's probably why. I completely forgot it became a D23 was this past weekend. So we did get confirmation. Like, they showed a little bit, talked about Star Wars Starfighter, and there was a behind closed doors trailer that I did see, because the internet exists.
I haven't found a clip of it yet.
And they Sean Levy did full on confirm this does not connect to anything. This is set after the sequel trilogy, but it has nothing to do with the sequel trilogy whatsoever. There's no tie-ins or anything. It's going to be its own standalone film in the Star Wars universe. So, which is pretty cool. And then they did show a trailer. You can watch it now. And the release date for Ahsoka Season 2 comes out January 20th, 2027. So it's only in about 6 months. Or less than 6 months.
Yeah.
So we're finally getting a season 2 of that. It looks like in the trailer we get confirmation that yes, Hayden Christensen is back as Anakin, and yes, he's more than he's in a reoccurring character, not in just one episode.
Yeah,
which is very happy. It was very exciting.
Funny enough, there are people saying, "Oh, why is he visiting Ahsoka so much? Why does he visit his children?" Even in Legends, he visited Leia once. She told him to F off, never visit her again, and only visited Luke 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
That's all he needed, apparently.
Right. And I don't know, there might be some back and forth from possibly Ahsoka, like, why aren't you seeing your kids or whatnot? But who knows? We'll see. But it just showed that we are getting more flashbacks and stuff with them as well in the Clone War era.
Yeah, I was going to say, can we talk about the Exar Kun knockoff they showed?
Is that the one with the lightsaber with the beam in the middle?
Yes, which is a stupid design, by the way. I can't.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work well or not. We'll see when it comes out. It's interesting.
It's up there with a spinning blade, Inquisitor
with
blade.
The Inquisitors, yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
But hey, Dathomiri's in live action. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
We did see Dathomiri.
It looks like it's going to be his home base, Thrawn's home base.
Yeah, possibly. So, it's going to be awesome.
There going to be a 3rd season of Ahsoka. In the 2nd season, the New Republic can get its butt kicked.
Yeah, well, Dave Filoni confirmed the first half of the series of this season 2 is a war in space. There's going to be a war in Star Wars. So We did get confirmation on that, so that's kind of cool. What else was there that news-wise? We got the final trailer for Star Wars Zero Company, which they straight up showed Rex is going to be in the game as probably a guest character, which is super exciting. And the game looks awesome. It looks like we are dealing with a somewhat Force-sensitive cult in this time around as well.
It looks like they get infected by bugs.
Well, do you remember the Clone
Wars?
Wars?
Some kind of hive mind.
Well, do you remember the in the Clone Wars animation that there was a couple episodes where they were infected by bugs and they essentially
Geonosis? Yeah.
No, it wasn't on Geonosis. Was it on Geonosis?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was
Geonosis.
in a starship.
No, it was Geonosis. They landed on the planet. They were collecting these eggs or samples or something. But when they got into the hive, all the bugs were undead because they were all infected by.
There was
Yeah.
There's that. There was
parasite.
another episode. There was another parasite episode where they're actually in space on a ship, and all the clones are getting infected.
After. That was the episode after.
Oh, okay.
It was Ahsoka and the green lady. I can't remember. Barris.
Yeah. So anyway, gonna be interesting for sure. And then I know Dojo, you were telling me earlier that there's multiplayer gameplay that you can watch on YouTube and social media of Star Wars Galactic Racers, which a lot of stuff coming out for that now too, which it looks awesome. Not gonna lie, it looks pretty sick. Yep. So yeah, we have a lot of Star Wars. We have a good year for Star Wars.
Yeah. So hang on, let's see here.
And supposedly Eclipse is still being worked on, but I guess they talked
made
about
no
that.
Announcement.
Yeah, I guess. But I guess they said something at D23 about it.
Yeah,
but
so
I don't remember what it was.
Just over a week away from Zero Company.
Yep. Oh, also Gamescom is next weekend. So
is it?
Yes, it's the 28th and 29th. So that's next weekend. So we might get news on stuff during that time because Jeff Keighley has a giant showcase. So who knows? We might get a game that we've all been waiting for us to see.
Oh, also, I completely forgot about this till just now. Apparently, there's a new book that came out where it's confirmed that Luke Skywalker met Cal Kestis.
Ooh.
Yeah, and they talked to each other.
Oh,
just for like a little bit, maybe, but.
Cameron Monaghan was on a panel somewhere. I don't know if it was D20. It might have been D23. It might have been in a different convention. Someone asked him about will we see Cal again after the third Jedi game? He's like, maybe. We'll see.
He's
I don't know.
interested in doing live action stuff.
Oh, he wants to do it so bad. he loves playing this character. It's great. I love it. But that's all. That's essentially all the major news. There is some new merch on Shop Disney because of D23. They brought back the mouse droid, the RC mouse droid you can buy and have, which I'm tempted. Not gonna lie, because the mouse droid sounds awesome, and I love to scare the shit out of my dog. But anyway, with that said, let's get back into more of the prophets and the Church of the Dark Side.
I wrote a little song to remind you, Choice Hotels get you more of the experiences you value. The Cambria Hotel's got it all. A rooftop bar, have a ball. Cocktails up here feel just right. Is Cambria amazing? All right. Bring a date, your team, or even your mom. Book direct at choicehotels.com. See you on the roof.
All right. So, with their role in the Empire, Palpatine sent many of his Darkseid followers to Dromund Kaas to train by the prophets, including the Dark Warrior Azrael, Grand Admiral Niel Declan, and Inquisitor Jarek. And while studying on Dromund Kaas, that Jarek first had heard of the legend of the Valley of the Jedi from the prophet Cornell. And first met with Cornell's daughter, Saris. Supreme Prophet Kadan trained Azrael as a secret weapon to use against Palpatine and Darth Vader should the Sith ever turn on Kadan, but Azrael came to hate Kadan and deserted him prior to the Battle of Endor.
I love that. Okay, you will be my tool. You will kill these two. And where'd you go?
Pretty
Where'd he
much. Yeah. Wait. You turn around, I was like, wait, what? The prophets sent agents to many planets. For example, Cyrus worked on Tatooine under the alias Prophetess. Prophetess. Okay, because that's totally a okay, whatever. It's totally
It's
not.
just a
on
female
the
version
nose.
of Prophet.
Right. I don't. How's that an alias? One of the agents of the prophets, Murik Satil, was made the Emperor's hand and apparently, under uniquely for a hand, remained a servant of the Order, eventually being promoted to the perhaps unique rank of Emperor's Reach. Palpatine
The hand is reaching. The hand is reaching.
Pretty much. Palpatine often consulted the prophets to ensure the correctness of his own foresight. Only the most trusted Imperial advisors, including the Grand Admirals, knew the Emperor's mages existed. When Grand Admiral Afshin Makati's first officer mocked the black robes of the prophets, Kadan retaliated by employing Force Lightning on Makati. The prophets often sent entourages, which often included Saris, to confer with Jarek on the Super Star Destroyer Vengeance.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I love it. I love Palpatine using the prophets as, hey, can you double check my work, make sure it's right?
Right? It's a check and balances.
Yeah.
Kind of, not really. So next we have the Secret Order of the Emperor, which was a clandestine elite group of spies composed of the Emperor's mages and their agents. Mages traveled abroad in disguise, seeking out force-sensitive beings such as Murik Satil, and would often to stand aside in the briefing room or corridor, monitoring their force-sensitive subjects, waiting for the curious subjects to ask the unusual person in their intentions. Then the mage would reveal himself as the envoy from the Emperor and present the gifted individual with the choice of serving the Emperor through secret missions. These missions, such as assassinating a special enemy or inspecting enemy crafted before destroying them for special intelligence, furthered the Emperor's dark side goals and were hidden behind all of the Empire's accomplishments.
I love it. He just stands outside the briefing rooms like, no, you're not special. You're not special. Hey, you're kind of special. Hey, do you want to sacrifice yourself?
It's all suicide missions. Have fun. So once an agent proved himself, he was then initiated in the Secret Order of the First Initiate and given the special additional duties during combat missions. As he was progressed through the Order, he would join the Second Circle, Third Circle, Fourth Circle, and Inner Circle, followed by earning the title Emperor's Hand, not to be confused with the Emperor agents known as the Emperor's Hand, the Emperor's Eyes, and Emperor's Voice, and the Emperor's Reach. Because, yes.
Have you ever seen American Dad?
Yes.
The sort of head CIA Bullock, who's voiced by Patrick Stewart.
Oh, yeah,
Stan's trying to get into his inner circle, and he has this Google thing where he's moving Stan from one group of friends to another group of friends. Mm-hmm. That's just reminding me, Emperor Palpatine's just dragging this guy from one group to the next group to the next group until his inner group.
Yeah, pretty much. So the most successful agents, such as Teal and taken from the Order by Palpatine to become Emperor's hands. The head of the Order was Supreme Prophet Kadan. Shortly before the Battle of Endor, the true prophets had a parting ways with Palpatine and retreated to Bastida. The former prophet Cornell, now under the alter ego the Emperor's Hand Black Hole, created a more public institution in mockery of the Order, the Church of the Dark Side. The Order had ceased to exist, and the true prophets no longer associated themselves with the Empire, only to be the dark side of the Force.
So, Palpatine, we've seen the ending of this, and good luck. We're out of here.
Yeah. The chosen personnel acquire the tattoo-like sign on their left arm and body eyes onto their skin with the dark side of the Force. The higher the rank of the agent attained within the Order, the larger and more elaborate the sign. Oh,
So
cult
you
tattoos.
start out with a basic tattoo, and then it gets added on as the higher you go.
Yep. All right. So now we have known members of the Prophets of the Dark Side. So Supreme Prophets, we have Kadan and Darth Millennial. High Prophets, we had Jagar and Marili. Lesser Prophets, we have Argor, the Cloaked Figure. Cornell,
Ooh.
aka Black Hole, and Saris, aka Prophetess. Minions, you have Azrakel and Worken. And false prophets, you have Gornash, Pseudo Jedar, Pseudo Kadan, and Orlok. So, that's what we have on the prophets. Now, getting into the Church of the Dark Side, as you've been heard, there's not a whole lot of info on this because this is going to be very quick. But, they were made in mockery of the Order of the Prophets, so... the Church of the Dark Side was a religious organization devoted to the worship of the dark side of the Force that came into prominence during the Imperial era and sanctioned by the Galactic Empire. Secretly, the Church of the Dark Side was just an undercover propaganda division of the Imperial intelligence and a mockery of the Prophets of the Dark Side, a dark side cult as part of the elaborate ploy in order to tighten their grip over the Imperial populace.
So basically, Imperial intelligence says, how can we get more propaganda out there while mocking these guys?
Let's make it
Church of the Dark
church.
Side.
It's
Church
funny.
of the Dark Side of
It's
the
so
Force.
funny. It's called church.
Just
I
to
was
screw
like, dear
'em.
God, that's something we would have in real life. Now getting into their history. So sometime prior to the Battle of Endor, a rift occurred in the ranks of the secret order of the Emperor and a collective body of the members which held the titles of the Prophets of the Dark Side. Some of the prophets sided with Supreme Prophet Kadan, who warned the potential catastrophe of the upcoming battle. Some joined Emperor Palpatine in rejecting Kadan's warnings. Kadan's followers withdrew to Bastarda, whereas defectors such as Lord Cornal, Saris, and Marili remained with the Galactic Empire.
But not with Palpatine.
Right. Prior to the Battle of Endor, Imperial intelligence formed a propaganda machine known as the Church of the Dark Side. The Church was sanctioned on Imperial Center as the official Imperial religion by acting Emperor Sate Passage and secretly patronized by the resurrected Emperor and hiding on Biss. The Church established branches throughout the galaxy. Former prophets such as Cornal, Saris, and Marili claimed devotion to the quasi-religion, making it as a means to manipulate converted trade barons and military officers such as the Grand Admirals Ishin Il-Raz and Persita Sin. Ultimately, the purpose of the church was to sow decision amongst the various rival warlords, preventing any other individual from rising the power over the entire empire, thus ensuring that when the time came, the imperial throne would remain empty and waiting for the return of Palpatine.
Okay, guys, we got to stall for time. How do we do this? How do we prevent some warlord from rising up?
Religion.
We got it, guys. Religion.
The church even included a supposed holy place, Circada Station, where a number of Imperial intelligence agents, none really Force-sensitive, publicly posed as the prophets of the dark side. These false prophets, including the impersonators of Kadana, Jagar, and Gornash, individuals hiding on Bathsira at the time. These prophets were sponsored by Sate Passage, himself ordered to be murdered at the instigation of Intelligence Director Yasan Isard. Because, assassinations always with politicians.
Oh, yeah.
So nearly all the prophets of the Church of the Dark Side were not actually pupils of the Dark Side or even Force users. They typically just had enough Dark Side knowledge to pass themselves off as mystics or magicians. They played on the fear and ignorance of the followers of their own personal gain. Lower-level false prophets were con artists who had seen enough of the entertainment hollows to pass themselves off as dark wizards. Prophets like Orlok relied on technological devices to fake force powers with technological gimmicks. Mid-level prophets were able to gain significant economic and political power on mid- and outer rim worlds. High-level prophets controlled entire planets or sectors, with some having convinced themselves they were able to truly commune with the Force.
Now, using technology to manipulate things to make it look like you use the Force was actually seen in Obi-Wan,
Yeah.
where a guy who was posing as a Jedi to get a
Mhm.
family off planet
But also
was
extorting
using
them for money.
kind of. He actually did help them get off
He did.
planet,
He was actually trying to do good, but also in a weird
but
way.
he had a little sensor to close and open the windows.
Right, yeah. It's super weird. It was funny though, especially when Obi-Wan comes into play and I was like, no.
Yeah, you lying. I'm catching you.
So the false prophets continually labor and manipulate events so their own prophecies would come true. These prophecies of Pseudo-Kadan gather the Pseudo-Jagar and the Holy Book of Secrets of the Dark Side, failed one after another. However, they ended up at the odds with both the Grand Moffs and the Warlords. Their phony claims about Tricostalus heritage were exposed as lies, and the existence of Palpatine's true son, Triclops, was revealed. Yeah.
Yeah, so no matter what, if you try to impersonate Sith, you'll
Don't do
just
it.
get burned. You'll just
Yep.
get burned.
So later, the imitator of the Supreme Prophet Kadan attempted to take over Imperial Center, but Yasin Asard successfully defended the planet. His attempt largely failed because of the lack of support from the warlords, many of whom held grudges against him. For the most part, actual grudges against the true prophet the con man was imitating. Yeah. Also, know the person you're imitating, so you
Do
don't
background checks,
die.
people. Do background.
The success of Pseudo-Kadan's imitation was his downfall. His deceived Grand Admiral Ashin McCarty into thinking he was the real Kadan, whom McCarty hated, using intelligence given to him by Azrael, who also sought to gain revenge on the real Kadan. McCarty brought every ship at his disposal to destroy Sicardi Station, killing the imposter.
All right, I'm done. Destroy it. I'm
And then
done with all this.
And as for other prominent members of the church, Cyrus met with a violent end, while Mallory fell into obscurity, and Cornell, the original black hole, was destroyed, with State of Prestige taking over the role as black hole. In addition, the Church of the Dark Side has secretly been manipulated by Palpatine, who had been revived after his death on Endor, with one of their decrees pertaining to the glove actually being leaked to them specifically so Palpatine could use Vader's glove to restore his Force powers. Following the destruction of Abyss, the Church of the Dark Side presumably ceased to exist.
So, yeah. It's a weird little...
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It
was
dark side users just trying to make power in the Empire, and then just kind of spiraled from there to like 3 factions, and then just kind of self-imploded. Really. Built a inner civil war at that point.
Right. Yeah, it's this is definitely an interesting thing, especially it started as a expansion to the original tabletop game. So, yeah, very different. And then also they eventually added things into the games, like Dark Forces, Jedi Knight 2, or no, Jedi Knight, just the first Jedi Knight. But Dark Forces 1 and 2, and all that stuff. So pretty cool in some comics.
Yeah.
But do you have any final thoughts on either of these groups?
Oh, being a Sith never pays off, folks.
No. Be a Jedi. You'll live at least a little bit longer. So, at least you're not, as long as there's no Order 66 happens. But anyway, everybody, thank you again for listening to Holocron Histories, and may the Force be with you.
Thank you for listening to Holocron History, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends. You can find us on the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, the Ben and Friends podcasting Discord, where you can share your thoughts, experiences, and love for the Star Wars lore. And don't forget, for the Republic!